Hi, everybody. It's Jean Humbrecht with Humbrecht Law, criminal and traffic defense attorney in Manassas, Virginia. Welcome to my local business spotlight. Today, I have a very special guest and very local guest, Kristen Kiefer, the executive director of HMI, which stands for Historic Manassas Inc. So at this point, Kristen, I'm going to turn it over to you to tell everybody a little bit about HMI, what you do, and then we'll answer any questions anybody has out there. Just type them in the chat, and I'm going to turn it over to you now.
Great. Thanks, Jean, and Happy New Year. Thanks for having us to kick off the year. Again, Kristen Kiefer, Executive Director, been with Historic Manassas for just over a year and a half. And Historic Manassas Incorporated, also known as HMI, is really about building the economic vitality of our historic downtown, which is just so beautiful here in Manassas. So that means anything from events and other promotional things we're doing to really build up our businesses and make sure that they thrive here in town. The beauty and design to preserve its historic culture, and making sure it's livable, walkable, everything that you want to be when you visit to have an experience here in the historic downtown Manassas.
So does HMI work with, the city of Manassas or Old Town Business Association? Are there any kind of partnerships there?
Yeah, I would say all of the above. So we are a close partner with the economic development arm here in the city. In fact, some of our funding does come through the city of Manassas under an agreement with them. But we do, OTBA, the Old Town Business Association, is also a partner with us in terms of, again, just really building up the businesses here, making sure they're thriving, they have what they need when they come into town. As new businesses here, listening to and advocating for the things that they may need as things arise. We are also meant as a Main Street program to really be a partner with residents, and through our committee work, there's residents, city staff, partners, nonprofits. So it's meant to really be a city-centric partnership with all stakeholders.
Okay. And you mentioned one of the goals is helping businesses thrive and building up businesses. So in what ways does HMI work to do that?
Sure. Well, I think there's a couple of ways, and we're always working to refine and do some more things. One would be partnering with them on some events, such as our First Fridays here in Manassas. HMI also runs 4 signature events throughout the year. But in addition to that, it is about reaching out to businesses that we're finding are coming into our historic downtown, telling them where to go for what they may need, offering them sort of that welcome, and telling people that they're here now. And what their business is about. So sort of business spotlights, both on new businesses and current businesses. We offer a lot of promotion, whether it's social media or through opportunities like this to say, kind of what unique things are here.
You know what? I'm glad that I asked, because I actually forgot about this when I had my 10-year law firm anniversary, which was in the city of Manassas last August. I actually was able to advertise that with Historic Manassas on your website.
Yes. And congratulations on your 10 years. That's amazing.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, that was a great service that I didn't even know that HMI did. I think I found that out when I was at one of the midday meetups with the mayor. You were speaking there, right, last summer?
Yeah. So we have a community calendar for the businesses down here. If, say, for instance, you're having something that's kind of prominent for your business, whether it's a trivia night, at Sinistrel, or something like your anniversary that was open to some public coming to celebrate with you. It's very simple on our website just to go on and enter your event details to get it published on our site.
And I believe there was no cost for that, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, that was awesome. So already, that's a huge help for businesses. That was a great way for me to get my the word out there to a bunch of people. And And you mentioned ribbon cuttings. I know Manassas City does ribbon cuttings and the chamber does ribbon cuttings, but how does how does HMI, do you sponsor some of those ribbon cuttings or do you coordinate with the city? How does that work?
We work with them to attend any that are happening here down in the historic district.
Okay.
So we'll say a few words of welcome in addition to the mayor, the chamber, and anyone else that is there. But we are definitely a part of the ceremonies and the ribbon cuttings and kind of posting about them.
Hmm. And so I've obviously been to ribbon cuttings and I've had a ribbon cutting, but can you kind of explain to anybody that's watching, the benefit of having a ribbon cutting and the benefit of having an organization like HMI, promoting it for them?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think anytime a new business comes to town, it's not, often that everybody's going to know
Yeah.
that it's there, especially if it's not a storefront. It may be a great business that we have many above a storefront here in historic downtown. So it's letting people know they're here, but also embracing them with open arms, knowing who the key partners and community are, knowing that there's that family environment down here, people that you can reach out to if you have a specific question about where to get this, or I'm having this issue, who do I go to?
Hmm.
And also just that initial partnership and relationship. Saying, hey, we're here. Hey, HMI, I'll speak for HMI, can afford you the opportunities for promotions. Here's the way. Here's ways for you to get involved with us so that your voice is around the table. And so, I do think that just that initial kind of outreach gets folks on the right foot when they're just new here in town or new to a business here in town.
Yeah, and I will actually attest to that. I didn't have a ribbon cutting for opening my business, but I had a ribbon cutting when I moved my business officially to the city of Manassas, and that actually coincided kind of with my 5 year. So I did a 5 year anniversary and ribbon cutting, and I worked with the chamber to do that. Again, I did not know about the service. I didn't know that I want people to know about it. If your business is in the city, HMI and the city of Manassas will work with you for that ribbon cutting. But what I wanted to say was, doing that ribbon cutting, I met so many people that I wouldn't have met otherwise. People, that are on city council and delegates, and just so I didn't know pretty much anybody in that room at the time, but I met so many great people and got the word out about my business. So ribbon cuttings are a great way to do that.
Absolutely. And and the chamber's a great partner. Bob Sweeney, we're lucky to have on our board here at HMI.
Oh,
Patrick Small with economic development serves as our city official on HMI. So yeah, making those connections. If there's something that one of us don't know, we definitely can
mhm.
pick up the phone and make sure we get that person connected where they need to be. So it is a great networking opportunity and also promotion. We're
Mhm.
all trying to promote, everything we can out of these wonderful businesses here in town.
Yeah. And it's great that you do that, because, most of the businesses, well, I think all of them in the city of Manassas are small businesses and, privately owned and mom and pop, or whatever phrase you want to use. So, they don't have the resources of huge companies to advertise. So the fact that there's an organization that wants them to thrive and do well, because if the business does well, if my business does well, the business next to me is going to do well and the city is going to do well, right? So we want everybody to do well.
And I will find that, once they start talking to each other at these things, they are promoting each other too. They're
Mhm.
learning more about the businesses that already stand here. So it can be like, hey, I'm here, but I know my partner over here may be selling X, Y, or Z. So
Yeah.
I've seen that kind of cross promotion happening, which is really exciting. It's the way it should be.
Yeah. And you mentioned preserving the culture of Manassas. What exactly do you mean by that, and what does HMI do? Just, I mean, people might not know what that means.
Yeah, no, fair enough. So it's, we have a rich history as everyone is here. So we actually at HMI serve as the visitor center as well. We're located right here in the historic train depot in town. So we're often the first stop that people make when they're just coming and visiting for the first time. And a lot of people do want to know what are kind of the key points of culture to visit here. We have a history, but it also means from the perspective of the design. So looking at the architecture of the buildings, ARB, the Architectural Review Board, already does, make sure that anything that's added or changed or altered or updated here in the historic downtown, follows the guidelines. But if there's anything that we HMI see as something that can further enhance it, or wait, there's questions, or if we want to put some kind of markers of historical significance, it's partnering with the right folks here in the historic downtown on things and making sure that the recommendations we're making also adhere to those guidelines. So when we talk about culture and design, another example that HMI over the years, much earlier than my joining HMI, it's about gathering spaces. So the Harris Pavilion came about a large part by the community saying we really need a gathering space here. So part of that kind of culture design, the things we talk about as a Main Street program, are things like the Harris Pavilion, so we can have gathering spaces to do the things that we as a city like to do together.
And you mentioned that there are four big events that HMI does every year. What are those for anybody that doesn't know?
Right. So in addition to the first Fridays that we do 10 each year, we have signature events, many of which have been around for decades. So the Railway Festival is here in June. We're in our 42nd year, I believe, with that. Our Fall Jubilee is in October. We are a huge part of the Celebrate America, in my opinion, the best fireworks in Northern Virginia, kind of putting on that big party for our city, as well as I mentioned the first Fridays, the Fall Jubilee, the Railway Festival. We also do a holiday market. So that is not the farmers market. That is a holiday market. If you've ever been to Christmas in Manassas, it's amazing, between the Christmas parade, the Santa coming in on the VRE, and then usually the week later, HMI's put on a holiday market, which is the vendors and, a lot of other things celebrating our businesses here. But we also now have an interactive Santa's Village where we partner with our local businesses and sponsors to provide an interactive zone for families, just to celebrate the holidays. And lastly, in addition to these signature events, we do the farmers market year round. So we're just about to kick off our winter market here on the 18th through March 22nd down at the Prince William commuter lot. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, I love the farmers market. I've been waiting for it to come back because I will bundle up and walk down there because I'm walking distance. I love living in the city of Manassas. Walk down to the farmers market, and I go more for the pastries and bread over the fruit.
Oh, I know. Well, one thing you should know, and it's first to be heard here, is we're looking to get people out in this cold weather, especially right now, is to offer sort of an incentive to come, if you will. So, sort of like if you come a certain amount of times, you might get a nice, reward for coming and coming back. So we're going to be publicizing that soon, but first here, it's coming. So be on the lookout.
Well, Kristen, you didn't know this about me, but I'm a sucker for rewards programs. So if there's a punch card, I will be there every single time.
I will expect to see you in the cold.
I will be there. I've got my my Under Armour, and I will bundle up. Now, I don't want to speak for what's going to be at the farmers markets in the winter, but just in general at the farmers markets, people might not know there's frequently live music, which is really cool to see when you go out. I imagine that's probably more in the nicer weather time, but there's so many options of produce and pastries and food and crafts and olive oil and sausage and Africa. There's just so much. Like any palate can find something that they like at that farmer's market.
Yeah, and that's been very deliberate this year, is making sure we have a good variety. We also have a community row that allows our local partners, our businesses here in the historic downtown, for free to, if they want to have a tent there. In our community row, or any kind of services or other things offered in the city outside of just our vendors. So it's something we're very proud of, and introducing some programming. We had a young entrepreneurs program where they got part of our lot to have young entrepreneurs selling, and we'll be doing some other things in the upcoming season. And I have to plug because I know, we could talk forever, Gene. Our first Friday is coming here on February. The first Friday of February will be our famous, beloved Super Bowl. And what that is our merchants and our restaurateurs across the city partner with one another and serve soup. It is a ticketed event. They are on sale now, so you just go to our website and you'll have information on that. But it's one of the most fun events and definitely sells out quickly. So for anyone who's listening that hasn't experienced or has, don't get behind the 8 ball on getting those tickets.
I like to stay pretty up to date with what's going on in the city. However, I always miss the Super Bowl tickets. Every time I go to get them, they're already sold out. So it is a popular event. So guys, get your tickets now.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, Black Metal Mercantile posted Super Bowl is always a great event.
Oh, there you go. Yes. And
Thanks
he is participating. So, and it's just, it offers a great chance for people to come out and see what our shops are doing, the types of restaurants. But for me, the fun is the trash talking going on between those who make the soups. It is a competition. There is a trophy. We thought we'd get the trophy back and pass it along each year, but it is a point of pride in this city. So we get a new trophy every year because no one will return it. So there's already trash talk, and that's more fun watching than watching anything else. So we're looking forward to seeing who's going to prevail.
Oh, see, that's good to know. Is it too late to enter the competition?
No, you can reach out to us. We are trying to start the pairings to see, who the stations are in terms of which merchants and restaurants. So we'll be able to publish it for the public to see who's participating. And some serve more than one soup, but the participants are the voters. So whoever does purchase a ticket and is running around out there decides who wins. Our merchants, we're just firming up with the merchants and restaurants that want to participate, but there's still just a little bit of time this week. If they haven't yet responded to our offer, it's still in there.
Okay, awesome. I learned so much just in this conversation, seriously, Kristen, and in a way I'm ashamed to say it, but I didn't know there was a free community row for Manassas businesses at the farmers market. I will be contacting you about that.
Okay.
And just everything that HMI does. People, well, if you're in Manassas or around Manassas, I'm sure you know about First Friday. I'm talking to everybody watching here. But did you know that Historic Manassas Inc. (HMI) is the organization that is able to provide that for you? It's not. It doesn't just manifest on its own. So thanks to HMI, we have our First Fridays, and I know everybody likes First Friday. It's always a good time. It's nothing's out of control. It's just such a fun way for people to get out on a Friday, relax, see when it's nice out, see music, and just everybody always has a great time, and it's family friendly. Earlier in the evening, or till a certain time, obviously, but people bring their families, and it's just fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do try to provide kid friendly things. As we start between 6 and 9 o'clock, and the businesses are just always great at collaborating with us, and it's a great night for them as well.
So First Fridays, the Celebrate America, the 4th of July party, and I will agree with you, by the way, a footnote, that I do think the fireworks in Manassas are the best, and I've seen a lot around the region. They are the best. It just the show just keeps going. They don't stop. I love it. And the Fall Jubilee, which I don't know the best way to describe it, but it's basically kind of like a fall festival, and there's a lot of businesses out there that are promoting things, and they do demonstrations, and I'm sure there are probably some like free samples of this and that, and food vendors, and stuff for the kids, balloon, like just all sorts of things, and it's a big thing in Manassas. I don't want to describe it the wrong way. So anything else you want to say about the Fall Jubilee?
Yeah. No, I like to think of it, it's almost everything's lined up here on Center Street. Our businesses are outside along with vendors from around the area. It's almost just like a little atmosphere of an outdoor market, I guess I would say it
Mhm.
as that. And for our Railway Festival and the holiday markets, we do the VRE train rides as well. We partner with VRE. There's train rides to Clifton's. The kids and family love those, and then come back to like really experience the richness of our railway heritage here. And then in the Christmas time, Santa, gets off, of course, the VRE train for our tree lighting right over here at the Manassas Museum. And then during our holiday market, again, there are rides with Santa and other, of our holiday friends up on there. So it's just, I think the best way to sum up the way we are doing things here in the city is it's family, it's intimate, it's people coming together and just enjoying common things in the spirit of just, also supporting our businesses and our community. And so that's why I do it. That's why I live, work, raise family here, and I think it's important that those who are around here or even beyond the city of Manassas boundaries know all that we have to offer as a nice small city here with a historic beat.
Right. Modern heart
Modern
historic.
heart,
Right.
historic beat. Yes.
Yeah, and a lot of people who come to the First Friday and to a lot of the other events come from outside of Manassas. So Manassas is attracting other people to these events.
We are, yeah, yeah. It's expanding. I know the city, in addition to what HMI offers, there's a lot of other things going on here, whether they're concerts in the pavilions,
Mhm.
some other events at the museum and beyond, and just having Annenberg, open and so beautiful, and the Liberia House. I mean, there's a lot for folks to see, and we'll be working on kind of in partnership with the city, making sure that our tourism is attracting those even from further away and people who may start working here in the city,
Mhm.
with all of the opportunities that abound. So we're working on it together, and any way that HMI can obviously be of assistance and help and promotion of any of the good things going on here, we're going to continue to do that.
And is HMI a member of Old Town Business Association? Oh, okay.
We are,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So we attend the meetings. Joanne Wonderly, who's the president of the association, is on our board as well. So there's a whole lot of interconnectivity with all of the entities and other nonprofits here in town on
Mhm.
how we can support each other
Mhm.
in what we're doing.
And I'm not a member. I'm trying to become a member, but for those of you that don't know, Old Town Business Association is kind of exactly what it sounds like. It's an association of business owners in Old Town Manassas. They meet once a month, and try to promote each other. Just try to kind of work together to just to keep everything thriving. And I don't know, anything else you want to add about that?
Yeah, I think it's really just a chance to put aside the time to understand all that's going on here. So, Manassas City staff are there for people to be aware of things. The PD is there for anything that needs to know, needs to be out there. Other organizations present on what's coming up. If they're, looking for sponsors for a parade, it's just coming together to figure out how we get things done together, but also keeping each other apprised of what's coming up, because with today's day and age, it's hard to keep up with everything and everybody and all the emails and all the social media. So it just gives you that hour or so of time together to really say, hey, here's what you need to know, help us promote, or here's what we need from you.
Mm-hmm.
So I would call it a networking avenue for those of us who are members.
Mm-hmm. And I would definitely say, if you have your business, if you have a small business, should definitely be involved in an organization like that, whether it's Manassas or anywhere else, getting to know your other business owners, because if you're busy working in your business and not involved in groups like that, you don't know who your neighbors are. You might know the person right next door to you, but if you don't go to things like that, you won't meet the guy who's around the corner, or somebody that works a complete opposite schedule from you, that you otherwise wouldn't meet.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, this has been so helpful. I don't want to cut you off. Is there anything else that you want to tell everybody about HMI, just anything they should know, any events coming up that we didn't discuss, how they can get involved in helping in the city of Manassas?
Yeah. So, I mean, for us, I would encourage people to come. We just did a newly renovated train depot here in partnership with the city. So, the Payne Gallery is open with some railway exhibits here. We have a new look and feel. We'll be starting to promote our businesses on a regular circuit here in this visitor center. So when they come in, there's like a spotlight on them. So for folks to do that, we would, encourage the visitor center. Come check out the events, but most importantly, like really just walk down the street. You can see the banner art, which HMI makes sure on the lampposts it's a competition with, local artists who want to participate. And that's part of the beauty and design of the city as well. But mostly, I think it's get the character and charm of the businesses, the feel, the offerings down here. Stay attuned to things that are happening even outside of the historic district, because there's just so much. And invite your friends out this way. People don't know what's out here as much as they need to be, and that's what we're looking to do. So as far as involvement, HMI does have committees. You can find more information on it via our website on how to get involved. It's really important that we're a lean and mean team here, but we always need the input. You get better ideas from larger engagement. It's open to residents, businesses, property owners, all of those who are key stakeholders in kind of what we're doing here in historic downtown. So that's another way to kind of get involved, and just reach out to us. We have plenty of volunteer opportunities both at our events. Some of our best team members are volunteers here at the visitor center. So plenty of ways to get involved with us, or at least, follow us on social media so you know what more we're doing and what more others are doing around here.
Mm-hmm. Well, Kristen, thank you so much for coming on this live. I think this was so incredibly helpful. I'm sure based on my Facebook post and seeing me around, that I'm pretty involved in Manassas, but you still don't know everything. You still don't know all the opportunities and everything that the city has to offer, and not just providing events like First Friday, but also, and more importantly, that helps businesses thrive, but the general goal of helping all the businesses thrive. And everything that you talked about, HMI does such a good job of that by bringing people to the town, providing the ribbon cuttings. I was just taking notes here, getting people to come for events like the Super Bowl, when people might not ordinarily come out because it's cold, the winter farmers market, all the Christmas market, which I was at, which was great. And so, people come to those things, and then they're going to go out to eat afterwards. They're going to support the businesses. They're going to see everything around. So HMI just does so much. And I think it was great that you came on here so we could, get to tell people that, anybody that, didn't already know, there are, all these events are brought to you by HMI. So
yes, well, I really appreciate the time and look forward to continuing our chats, Jean.
Me too. And Kristen, I always forget to tell my guests before we start that when I end the stream, you and I will still be here, but we won't be live anymore. So don't take off quite yet. We can check.
Okay. All right.
Thank you everybody for watching, and Black Metal Mercantile for commenting and liking. I do appreciate the engagement, and I will see you guys for the next live in a couple of weeks. Thanks.